Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk to you about fear and not allowing fear to keep you stuck. I know that I've talked about this in the past before, but when themes come up to me again, I know it's because the universe is saying somebody out there needs to hear this at this exact moment. So you'll have to pardon me. Allergies, again, they keep, this where I live in the Midwest, they pop up here and again. So what exactly is fear? Fear is just your ego telling you that something isn't going to work out, or in my case, it was always overthinking. It was picturing and imagining the worst case scenario, and I always had a way of making it 20 times worse in my head than the actual situation was. And I still have a tendency to do this sometimes. I'm much better about it now, because now I have gotten to the point where I can easily identify when I'm starting to go down this road. It is seriously like a spiral. When you start one thought about, what if? It's always the what if. When one thought starts that, what if this happens? What if this person reacts this way? What if this happens? It's like your brain just takes over and starts creating a spiral, like a tornado. Like it just starts picking up momentum. And one thought leads to 20 thoughts. And the more you think, the worse the situation gets, right? It starts off with what if someone doesn't react the way I'm expecting them to when I tell them some information? And then it goes from that to, well, what if they physically try to fight me? This is how my brain works in a weird way. I'll think, well, they're going to get angry with me. Well, what if they say this? Well, what if they try to physically fight me? And it just keeps spiraling and spinning and picking up momentum, just like a tornado. So when a tornado first begins, it just begins as like a strong wind. And it doesn't have the force that it has when it's first forming as a tornado. It's the momentum and the power that keeps picking up as this tornado begins, the cycle begins spiraling. And in the same way, your thoughts don't begin as this horrible, out of control thing. It begins with an innocent enough thought. The innocent enough thought of, what if this doesn't go the way I thought it would? But then that picks up speed, it picks up momentum, and the spinning begins. The spinning of more thoughts of, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. I'm not going to be able to get through this. I'll never be able to show my face there again. it just spirals into, I don't know what it is you're thinking about, but I know how my brain works. And I just began thinking of everything in the world possible that could happen to me. And I end up with this huge tornado that has basically dug a huge hole underneath my feet, because now I'm just kind of sinking down into my own pile of feeling sorry for myself, because now I'm imagining the absolute worst possible thing that could happen. And the thing about it is, what I've always discovered after the fact, of course, is that nothing that I ever imagined happened. It didn't turn out that way. It wasn't as bad as I thought. So what you're doing to yourself when you're creating your little tornado of doubt is you are putting yourself in your own mental hell, your own mental prison, because you are making things so much worse for yourself. So what is important is that you get into the habit of catching yourself. You catch yourself before you even allow that cyclone to build. So you have to be very, very diligent about paying attention to your thoughts. And when that first negative thought kicks in, you've got to recognize it. And remember, we say rewind, delete, because we don't want that thought becoming a thing out there in the universe. But that's what happens. When we think a thought, it becomes action. It becomes a thing out there in the universe that then the universe says, oh, let's co-create this. And that's not what you want. You don't want to be co-creating negative things with the universe. We want to be co-creating the positive things that we wish to see and manifest. But if we're focused on the negative, that's what we're working on manifesting. And I know that none of you are wanting to see those negative things show up in your life. So we've got to be diligent about not allowing ourselves to spiral into that tornado of negativity. We've got to catch that thought, say rewind, delete, and reframe that thought. I want you to think about this, and I know I've mentioned this example before, but think about when you're in a swimming pool. When I was younger, my cousin and my sister and I, we always used to love to make a whirlpool. And so you keep walking around the pool or swimming around the pool in one direction for 5 minutes or so till you get a nice whirlpool going. And again, there's like a little cyclone in the middle there. Well, how do you stop that? You have to go against it, right? You have to stop what you're doing. And this would always be the fun, challenging thing for us, is we would stop, turn around and go the other way and try to now move the whirlpool the other way. And there's so much resistance. It was really difficult. And this is when a lot of times like my footing would slip and I would go underwater because there's just so much force there that you're going against. So I bring this up because you might be thinking, well, there's nothing I can do to stop this cyclone of negativity, but there is. There absolutely is. And if you think about that whirlpool example, when you turn the other way and you go back the other way in that whirlpool, you're breaking that cycle. You're starting a new cycle. You're going in a different path. In the same way, if you recognize your thoughts and you say, no, rewind, delete, and you reframe that negative thought into a positive one, you're in effect doing the same thing that you do when you turn around in the swimming pool and you go the other way with the whirlpool that you're doing. But just like in the example here, when you get farther and farther into that whirlpool of negativity in your thinking, it's harder to get out. And in the same way, it's harder when you've been going in one direction, when you're making a whirlpool, when you've been going in that direction for such a long time. When you go to turn around and move it the other way, it's harder to get out of. But it's not impossible. And just like it's not impossible in the swimming pool, it's not impossible in your life either. So I know there's a lot of people who are like, well, I'm so negative and I've always done this way and it's just too difficult to change now. I hear that all the time. Like, I'm too old to change now, or I've been doing this too long to change now. And that's so false. You could not be more incorrect in your thinking there. You have never spent too much time on a mistake to fix it. Okay, it's never too late in your life to fix it. And I've used this example before, but my parents, both of them, changed careers over, it was even over midlife because they were both in their 40s. So they both were able to go back and change what they wanted to do. And they were still both able to retire at a normal time. So it's never too late to, fix a mistake or go back and change something. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. If things are meant to work out for you, they're meant to work out for you. And the thing is, the universe wants to give you all of the good things. And you deserve to have all of the good things, but you've got to be willing to move your feet, to start that whirlpool in the opposite direction. Like, you've got to take that first step. And for many of you, taking the first step is as simple as paying attention to your thoughts and redirecting your thoughts when you start that, I don't know, what do you want to call it? I guess the best thing is the cyclone of negativity. But I totally understand because that used to be me. I could sit and overthink about something until I made myself completely miserable. Gave myself stomach problems because, in my family, whenever you feel anxiety or whatever, it's always like we always have stomach issues. Like, oh, my stomach hurts. And as a kid, whenever I didn't want to do something, my stomach would hurt. I would say, oh, my stomach hurts. Always as a kid, if I didn't want to go somewhere, I didn't want to do something that I had to do, my stomach would hurt. And as an adult, it's the same way. And there's a good reason for that. Where we feel the fear is in our solar plexus chakra. And that chakra is right above your belly button. And many people who aren't confident with themselves or have a lot of inner fear, they experience a lot of stomach issues. It's all related. So it makes a lot of sense. If you're having digestion problems and you're like, oh, my stomach, you've got some inner stuff going on that has to do with fear. I get that a lot in clients that I do Reiki for. They'll come to me and I'll pick up on the stomach issues, but they've had it for so long that they just don't really even think about it. I'll say, are you, you're having stomach problems? Do you have digestion problems? Are you having a lot of stomach aches or indigestion? Oh, well, yeah, I guess I do, but I just never really thought about it because they've lived with it their whole life. And the reason they've lived with it their whole lives is because it's that fear, it's the connection there, self-esteem, fear, all of that rolled in together. And they just really have lived with it their whole lives. And so they really don't think about it. But when we can go in and we can address that, can address the issue of your self-esteem and your fears, the stomach stuff kind of heals itself. It's amazing. But it is all related. And it makes total sense, really. And I know for me, I could really easily kind of backtrack into that. Oh, well, what if this happens? Oh, well, I'm never going to be able to do this. Because it's easier to think about the negative. Our brains are wired naturally to think of the negative, to think of all of the possible things that could happen. And the reason that our brains are wired to do that was really to keep us safe. Because as a kid, if you were going to cross the road, we had this fear going, okay, look both ways, be careful, don't run out into the street. Or if you were going to be on the jungle gym. I mean, I feel like as a kid, I was pretty fearless on the jungle gym. But, there were kids who would be afraid of heights already as a kid and, oh, watch out, And it's your body, your ego, all of that, that internal system we have trying to keep us safe. And as we were kids, it served us well because we didn't go around sticking our fingers in light sockets. There are a lot of things we didn't do because our internal, I call it our ego, but our ego kept us safe because it said, don't do that, you shouldn't do that. But as we get older, the ego, we've picked up a lot of conditioning that really isn't our own. It's stuff that our parents have told us, it's things society has told us, and we pick up on a lot of things that really aren't true. They're just limiting beliefs that hold us back. Like how many times have we heard limiting beliefs about money? Like money doesn't grow on trees. I don't know, my mom would always say you need to appreciate the value of money, things like that. So we had these guilty complexes about spending money. And if you grew up with parents who are especially frugal, then, you really got the conditioning. And it's weird because it works out different ways. Some people go completely the opposite direction. And some people really stick with what their parents told them. Either way, you have this conditioning that has been taught to you by your parents, by society, whatever. And it keeps us small and it keeps us stuck. And it's really just fear. It is this fear that is telling you, well, you shouldn't spend that money because money doesn't grow on trees. Or you shouldn't take that job because you're not going to make that much money. You might be happy, but the money, I don't know, I wouldn't do it. There are a lot of things that come up for people. Don't date that person because They're not your type. I love what people say, they're not your type. Well, only you can decide what's best for you. And when we allow our ego or our fear to step in and tell us how we should show up, how we should be, we're missing out on a lot of great opportunities in life because we're allowing that fear to keep us in a safe place. And while, yes, there's something to be said about being safe, when you're comfortable and safe, you're not growing and you're not learning. And one thing that I know for sure is that if there are lessons that you have come here to learn and you don't learn them now, you're going to come back and you're going to learn them again. You have to learn them in one lifetime or another. And it's so much better to heal it now when we recognize the patterns and what we're doing and the lessons that we keep learning over and over again. It's great to take care of it when we recognize it. Some people recognize that there are things they need to heal about themselves or things they need to do differently, yet they don't do it. And I always think that's funny, although a year ago I would have been that same person. I would have said, oh, well, I kind of see this, but I wouldn't have done anything to heal it. But now I understand and I recognize the importance of healing things that come up for you as soon as we recognize them. Because you have to learn that lesson. You're just dragging out a lesson. And if you don't learn it, you're going to come back and repeat it. It's not like in high school, if you failed a class that you didn't really have to have, you didn't have to make it up. You have to have every class here. You have to learn everything here. So if you fail, you're going to repeat that. And that's not to say you're a failure if you're not learning your lessons. I don't mean to say that to anyone. No one here is a failure. But we just keep bringing these lessons with us from lifetime to lifetime when we don't learn it. And when I've done the past life regressions with people, so many people like, oh, that's what I was supposed to learn. Oh, that's why this happened in my lifetime now. And I've even seen that in my own life. Like, yes, okay, that's why this keeps repeating. Because I didn't see the lesson that I was supposed to learn. And we can go and heal that lesson now in this lifetime so that we're not carrying it with us from lifetime to lifetime. And I think it's amazing because we will do so many things to avoid being uncomfortable. Yet, how do I want to even, what I'm trying to get across to you is when you finally choose yourself and what you truly want and you don't allow fear to make your decisions for you, it is the best feeling in the world. Like you feel like you can do anything and you can conquer anything. Yet so many people are afraid to even step outside their comfort zone because like, well, this is comfortable, this is safe, I don't really, want to take that risk. Why we assume that risk has to be a bad thing, but so many people associate taking a risk with like, oh, I could fail and this could be bad and it could be miserable. It does not have to be that way. Taking a risk does not mean that you're going to experience bad things. Sometimes taking a risk means you will find the most beautiful things in your life that you would have never found if you had stayed stuck where you were. Some people have to take a risk by getting out of bad relationships. It's what you have to do. It was a risk for me to leave a relationship that I was in when my kids were small because they were so small and I had to completely rebuild my life. And that was a risk. And it was one of the best risks I've ever taken because I was miserable where I was. And to me, you don't even have to be miserable, but if you're sitting in a situation where you're like, my life's just okay, it's fine. Fine is not okay. Like, we don't want to just be fine. We want to live the very best life possible. And that's not a life where you're like, oh, my life's fine. You should be experiencing magic in your life in some way every day. And if you're not, then there's something you need to change about your life. And yes, there are times in life where we will struggle. Everyone does. It's because we're learning and growing. But you should be in love with your life for the most part. And if you're not, it's because you're not where you're supposed to be. You're out of alignment. You have somehow gotten out of alignment. And most of you listening here, when I say that, you know exactly where you're out of alignment. It's either in a relationship in your life, or your career, or maybe everything. But you don't have to stay out of alignment. What I'm telling you is the universe wants you to know that you can say, forget fear. I would use a stronger word here, but I know there are people who listen to this with their kids, so I always want to try to keep this so that you can listen to this anywhere and not be afraid of what is said. You have to say, forget fear. Sometimes you have to let go of the known and jump into the unknown. Because anything in your life that is truly, truly worth experiencing and living is not going to be found in your comfort zone. It's just not. And that's not a bad thing. Being out of your comfort zone doesn't mean that it has to be a horrible experience. Okay, going back to school after I already had a degree and after I had already stayed home with my kids, that was out of my comfort zone. You know what? It was great. It brought me to a career I loved. When I worked in the business world, it felt like working at this one job for 1 year felt like 20 years of my life. 20 years of my life, getting up every day, fighting traffic to get to work, it was horrible. I hated it, and I still have nightmares about that place because I just did not like that job. But getting up and teaching, this will be my 13th year, and it felt like yesterday. And there's something to be said about that. You can either trudge through life and feel like it's weighing you down and taking forever, or you can find the things that make you happy, that set your soul on fire. You can do the things you absolutely love doing. And there's no reason you cannot do it. None. If you are feeling like life is so difficult and it's so hard for you, it's because you are not in alignment with where you are supposed to be. You are not in alignment with your higher self. And that is the thing that many people experience. They do not know what their purpose is. They are not on the right path. They're so out of alignment, it's not even funny. And you can tell that because life for them is a constant daily struggle. And if it feels like I'm talking to you personally, it's because I am. The universe wants you to know you do not have to spend even one more day living in this way. There are so many things you can do to figure out your purpose, to get back in alignment. And it all starts with you. There's not a magical pill you can take. Nobody can do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to change yourself. But it does not have to be hard. I think people let their fears take over and get the best of them. And then they think that changing their lives has to be this really difficult thing, and it does not. And it doesn't have to be that you throw out your whole life and start all over. It does not have to be that complicated. It's as simple as changing one thing at a time, one day at a time. The easiest thing to do is start by changing your thoughts to stop being negative, start being positive, start seeing the blessings in your life, start showing up with gratitude in your life. And if you are one of those people listening to this and you feel like I just spoke directly to you, you need to sign up for the challenge that Heather Doran and I have created this challenge that's going to go live on the 24th, and it's totally free. And when you join, we are going to be giving you tools to help you get back on track, to take your life back. You're going to be added to a group where we're going to be doing live things within the group. It's like you're going to be getting many coaching sessions from both of us. So if you've ever wondered, what is a coaching session like with Melissa? You get a free taste of that. You can hop on, and the more you participate, you're going to be eligible for a chance to win a free coaching session with both of us. Each day you participate and you show up, you're going to get points. When you invite people to come to the group, you're going to get points. The person at the end of the week who has the most points will win a free coaching session with Heather and I. And the next top 5 people who have participated will win a group coaching session with Heather and I. That is such priceless value. It really is. And if you're listening to this thinking, what can I do? This is something you can do for yourself that is free, but you will take away so much from this 1 week. And don't say, I don't have time to do it. That's BS. It's important that you make time for yourself because you are worth it. If you're over here saying, yeah, I know I'm out of alignment, then this is for you. This is your wake-up call. This is the universe saying, I'm handing you this gift. Enroll now, get in this program, and get the free tools that we are giving to you to help you get back in alignment. Because it really can be that easy. It can. I'm going to put a link to the enrollment page for this free program, this free week of, we're calling it a challenge. It's like a free training where you will have all kinds of free tools and a chance to win coaching with us. I'm going to put the link in the description to the podcast. You can share that link with as many people as you want. Just let them know that when they enroll, if you want them to give you credit for giving them the link, for enrolling them, they need to put your name as who referred them so that you can get points for that. And guys, if you want to work with me, there's so many ways to work with me. And that's my mission here, is to help you get in alignment. It's to help you heal. That is what I came here to do. And there's so many ways I can help you. There's coaching, there's Reiki, past life regression, or reading, whatever you need. I even have guided meditations. Just go to my website, check it out. I'm still selling the bracelets as well. And the money, again, portion is going to the Foster and Adoption Care Coalition. I've already made a big donation to them. Thanks to all of the people who have purchased bracelets. So incredibly thankful to you for that. And they were also thankful for the donation. And I will be continuing to make donations as more people purchase these bracelets. So get in on that now while you still can. I also wanted to let you know you can join me on Facebook Lives Tuesdays at 7 Central, where I do a free card reading. I wanted to pick a card for you today before I ended this podcast. And so the card I picked for you is from the Chakra Healing deck by the Sage Goddess. And this has to do with your throat chakra. It is Be Heard and Seen. Your voice matters. It longs to be heard, and you are here to be seen. Allow your voice to manifest itself into the world, clear, steady, and strong. Hold on to the wisdom that your words hold supreme power. They create your reality, and you are able to bring light to the world. Speak into being what you most desire. Remember also to use your voice to speak love into being for our planet. And I love this because that one line, you create your reality. Your words create your reality. And it is so true. Your words do create the reality that is around you. What are you speaking into being? Are you speaking lovingly about yourself and the world around you? Or are you putting yourself down? Because that is so super important. You're shaping your own reality with your words and your thoughts. So keep them positive. Focus on the positive. And for those of you who feel like your throat chakra is blocked and you need to open your throat chakra, the crystals that can help you with that is the aqua aura, aquamarine, and also the lapis lazuli. It's beautiful blue crystal, and I have a bracelet that I'm wearing that has that particular bead. And I'm going to probably also begin creating bracelets that are specific to certain chakras or to certain things like your love life or finances. I'm going to begin doing that because what I've discovered is that I love making these bracelets and I love infusing them with Reiki, and I love the response that people are loving them. So I will be starting to create more variety of bracelets, so keep a lookout for that. I just need to have the time to sit down and really figure out what I'm going to create, but I have loved that, and it is a great project that I've been able to bond with my niece over. So I will be giving you more of a variety of things, not just the chakra, but specific areas of your life where you'd like to focus healing on. I will be focusing the Reiki on those areas and also picking the crystals that will be in the bracelet for those specific areas of your life. So be on the lookout for that. As always, I want to thank you so much for listening. I love each and every one of you. I really do. And I am truly, truly humbled to be here and be a part of your lives daily. The fact that you tell me that you listen to me every day, it just humbles me beyond belief. And I can't even describe in words how amazing that is to me. And I truly, truly appreciate you. And the biggest compliment you can give me is to share my podcast with others, because my goal is to spread the word to as many people as possible. And you are definitely helping me do that. So I want to thank you to all of those who share my podcast. Please continue to do that. Please continue to leave feedback with stars or I don't know, however you're listening, if it's through Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean. If you could leave me a review there, or I know on iTunes it's the stars that you leave, that would really, really mean the world to me, because again, that helps people find me. I want to thank you so much. I am sending you massive love and light. Don't forget, if you have not gone to my website and signed up to subscribe, go do that. You're going to get a free morning and evening meditation when you subscribe, and I do not bombard you with emails. It's just a way for me to say thank you and a free gift from me to you. So I love you guys. I'm sending you massive love and light. I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.